Dr. Chipman said, if I had an idea, don't be afraid to speak. And
I want to go back to one thing that's important. This swelling, this phase change that you
yes.
discovered, that became very important to the production reactors at Hanford, right?
Oh, yes.
Because without knowing about it, there might have been some serious trouble, right?
Right. To find out the temperatures for this rolling, the first few bars that we were able to get rolled, we got the material for the University of Chicago for different people to work with. And I had the machine shop machine some compression testing that I was going to do. And it was about 3/8 inch diameter, about an inch and a 3/8 length. And I had a little heating furnace by my compression testing machine. And I started out like around 300 degrees and put it under compression. And when it's not malleable, it would shear 45-degree angle. So I kept increasing the temperature by 50 degrees or 100 degrees and going up. And when I got into the 600 degrees, why, it was beginning to form like a barrel, which is what we were looking for. It was the temperature we should heat the billets for fabricating. And as I got to a temperature, it must have been a little over 600 degrees.
Fahrenheit.
When I took the specimen out, I had very good eyes at that time. I thought the specimen grew. Now, metals don't grow just by heating. They usually need some outside force. And so I forged it, and it forged, but it wasn't such a uniform one. Something was happening. So I decided I better try another test specimen to make sure this wasn't a specimen that was too long or something. And we carried what do you call it? Micrometers. Back in those days. I measured it very carefully and all that. Put it in the furnace at the temperature. And sure enough, it was growing.
This is radially, right? It was radially.
Lengthwise.
Lengthwise also?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was growing lengthwise. Okay. About almost 1/16 of an inch. So I decided to keep that. Went and got Dr. Foote to show him what's happening. We were under orders to not disclose what you were doing to other people and stuff, or other departments. It was that type of security. And sure enough, the material was growing. and immediately you got a picture. These fuel elements are going to be going through a production reactor, and if they start growing in the middle of the process, they would, here they're like this, they would start going like this, they would jam the channel, mm-hmm. and we would have had our first meltdown. And so we had these monthly meetings where they came from all the key people from Los Alamos, Oregon, was there, University of Chicago, there wasn't an Oregon, but from Oak Ridge, Hanford, from MIT, Columbia, Princeton, Cornell, University of California, Berkeley, and they had these meetings for 4 days, and somebody would schedule what the program was going to be based on the input coming in, where the problems were. And this got to be a high priority item on that month's meeting because of this meltdown worry. And for some reason, I was invited to attend these meetings.
Some reason.
And there were PhDs in our group. They weren't invited, and I felt kind of guilty. And but it turned out we learned a lesson, and we found out what we had to do. And one thing about uranium, especially in the extrusion process, it doesn't cool while it's going through the rolling mill. It's generating its own energy. So the temperature is good.
The energy comes from the rollers, so it's not something for nothing. You're converting energy of the roller pressure into internal enthalpy.
You got the rolling plus this internal heating. The internal heating is what's taking it to a higher temperature. And so we had to have somebody controlling the rolling, and we had to back off on the extrusion to a temperature where it wouldn't reach this.